Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Amplify radio show. I am your host, Tyler Hudson. With me, as always, is my co-host, Bryce Mansfield.
I can't introduce myself.
I didn't know you had to say your own name.
I thought that's what we always do, but
we got to innovate sometimes.
Okay. Well, I have a special guest with me. If I can introduce my special guest,
I'll allow it.
Is that cool? Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we have with us Mr. Abi John. Abi is a master's student here at the university in the communication program, and he also teaches 2 speech classes. So all this advice we've been giving you over the semester has all been a tool for you to use in Mr. Abi's class, because I hear he's a very tough professor. I'm telling you, it's like
throwing out Fs like candy.
Fs down the board, like Oprah. Like, you get an F and you get an F. Everybody gets an F.
Check under your seat. There's an F.
Yeah, like it's all there. Like, you haven't even taken his class yet, and you have an F.
You have an F.
Is
that correct?
I'm not going to have students next semester because of you guys.
Nah.
Oh, it's fine. It's your last semester anyway.
That's a good point.
So we'll dive right in here. The subject for our show today. This is Amplify Radio, right?
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Going along with the Amplify theme, I figured it would be nice for us to talk about Amplify U of L. Amplify U of L is an event that happens here at the university, but I don't know much about it. Neither does Tyler.
I don't know much about
we are
anything.
going to hand it over to Mr. Abi John. Abi, please tell us, what is Amplify U of L?
Yeah, thank you, Bryce. Thank you, Tyler, for having me here this morning.
Of course.
So Amplify, first and foremost, it is a speaking event. It is an opportunity for students to go and speak their passions. So it's an opportunity that we provide students to basically have them speak and share about something that they really care about. So it can be something as cool as cosplaying, or as creative as cosplaying, or it can be something more of an abstract nature, like talking about the power of words or the power of love. So yeah, it's just a platform for students to speak about what they care about without any kind of boundaries put on them.
And how long has this been in existence? Is this like a 1-2 year thing? Is this a 10-year thing? Is it somewhere in between?
It's an 8-year thing.
Yeah, well, Amplify is actually fairly young. This year was our 6th year of doing it. Last year we celebrated our 5th year anniversary of it, and I've been involved with Amplify 4 or 5 years.
We have a
Wow.
we have a veteran.
A veteran,
here.
yes.
Veteran.
Let's talk about this for a moment. Tell me a little bit about how Amplify started. Was this something that somebody sat back one day and thought, wow, I think it'd be awesome for people to be able to speak their passions at an event? I know it's been in Chow Auditorium here recently. Has it always been in Chow Auditorium? Tell us a little bit about the formation and where did we start?
Yeah, so once again, I think the key part about Amplify was and always will remain the students, right? So if you look at a university, a university would not be a university without the students in it, right?
I'm going to cut in here. If we could just make sure that everybody at the university
Put it on a
just remember
t-shirt,
that.
put it on a poster.
You're plastered
welcome.
on all the signs at the university. The university would not be the university without the students. Just continue.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a philosophy that I stand by, and I think a lot of our department stands by. And so what we've noticed, especially Catherine Taylor, she's the director of undergrad studies over here, what she's noticed is that our university is filled with these students with awesome passions and things that they really care about, but unfortunately, they're restricted by boundaries set on them, either by administration or their classes. It might be self-inflicted boundaries if they decide to pursue communication, for example, like what I'm doing. Then a lot of the things that I do is only based off of the communication degree that I'm pursuing. So the classes that I have to take, even though I care about it, it might not be something I care about 24/7. There are other things that I do care about. So what Catherine essentially wanted to do was to provide that platform for those students who wanted to share something about themselves that goes far beyond just school
Academia,
or work
right.
or academia, exactly. And so what she decided to do was create Amplify, where we're just going to have a platform, have an hour every year where students who want to share what they care about kind of comes into the stage and then shares it. And yeah, it's been in the Chow Auditorium for the event for the past 6 years. And it's a really cool location, so check it out.
Oh, and let's talk a bit about what your role is. So we know what Amplify is. We know a bit why it's important for those students to be able to get up and speak their passion. Let's talk about Abi John's role in Amplify.
What have you done?
Wow, what have I done? You know, without patting myself too much on the back, I can honestly, confidently,
I got you.
We'll do it.
I can confidently say that I've actually fulfilled every role that Amplify has to offer. So when I started with Amplify 5 years ago, my role was just a mentor. If students wanted to get some guidance on their speeches, they would come to me along with the other mentors that I was working with, and just we would guide them as to how to give a good speech or just make them feel comfortable giving whatever speech that they're giving. My second year took that role a bit further, where I worked specifically with a student or two students if they had any specific issues. Now, public speaking, as many of you guys know, is a terrifying thing for people to do.
Oh, yes, we've talked about it
know
extensively on our show.
And so there are some students who really have the desire to share what they want, but they just are terrified of doing it in a public speaking setting. And so I love working with those students. So my second year was specifically working with students to reduce their fear of public speaking. Third year, I had the opportunity to actually organize the event. I was the director of Amplify, along with Erica, who was a co-director with me at that time. And that was one of my favorite years of doing it, because I got to hear more students. I got to hear a lot about what students loved and what they wanted to do, and it was more creative than I could ever be, and more inspirational than I could ever be as well. So it was really cool to see all of these different students sharing their beliefs. And then I also got to be the MC for the actual event, and I love being the MC.
That's always great.
Hey, being the MC for any event is a fun time, except if it's the Miss America pageant and you're Steve Harvey and you accidentally
or the Oscars this past year.
Oh yeah,
So,
or the Oscars.
yeah.
That was rough. But yes, continue.
Yeah, so after being the MC for that event, the next year, my fourth year, I took a step back because I started grad school and life got really busy. But I was still involved. I ended up being the photographer for the event, and you can find those photos online. And it was really cool to still kind of take a back room or a backseat role, but still see students kind of doing their thing, seeing people kind of take what was laid out the past few years and then just grow on it. And then this year, I think the only year that topped the event that I was emceeing Amplify, I got to be a speaker at Amplify. I got to speak about something that I cared about. And it honestly just, as this was my last year being a student, and this is an event only open to students at the university, it was cool to almost go out flying. That's a poor way to put it, but...
Well, it all just kind of leads up, right? So you start out, you're a mentor, and then you build up, and next thing you know, you're starting to MC the event. Then you're taking another back seat, and you're photographing the event, and then it all builds up.
It's culminating.
This one
One
just
big culminating
perfect
experience.
moment where you are the event, right?
Yeah.
You are the event.
You are the event.
Amplify.
They came to see you, right? That's
Absolutely.
great. That's
That's
fantastic. That's a wonderful story. Do you see yourself being involved with Amplify after you move on, if you will, from being a student?
Oh, absolutely. I am going to hopefully continue to be involved with the university in some fashion or the other. And so long as I'm connected to the University of Louisville, I will be connected to the students, because I do care about the students. I have a huge heart for the students. Being a student and an instructor right now, I really value that because I care about students. And Amplify being an event solely for the students, whether I just end up being an audience member or being involved in it in a more intimate fashion, I will always be involved with Amplify till the day I'm no longer in Louisville.
That's wonderful.
Awesome.
So we've talked a bit about what Amplify is. We've talked about why it's important. We talked about how it impacts students. We've talked about your involvement with Amplify. If you had to sum up everything we've talked about today and tell people why they should attend this event next year, whenever we have the event again, go ahead and just give us your brief summary. And I want to hear this pitch. I'm interested. It's like a commercial. We're going to make a commercial. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Well, here's the thing about Amplify, though. regardless of who you are and how you're involved with the event, whether you're a speaker, whether you're the MC, whether you're an audience member, whether you're an instructor who is sending a student to Amplify, it is an event that can benefit everybody. Because, and I will repeat this every time somebody asks me what Amplify is, and that is, it is an event for the students, and it is an event by the students, right? So Amplify, it is important because it shows the students who have passions, students who do have desires or hobbies, things that they care about. It shows them and it tells them those passions are valued, right? We live in a world where sometimes you have to sacrifice a lot of yourself to succeed, right? And we want to tell those students, you don't have to sacrifice anything for this event. You are the center stage. You are what's being amplified, right? And so for those students who are speaking and sharing their events, Amplify can benefit them by telling them your passions are valued. And then for the audience members, it can be they can be witnesses and see this as an opportunity. Wow, there's something that I care about, and there's a place that I can share that. And it's a place that I can share and show why this is something that I value. And others can see it and be inspired by it. Or others can just be inspired to share what they value, what they care about. Right? So it is ultimately for giving a voice to the students, showing the student that regardless of what's happening in this university, regardless of what's happening in their lives, there's always an opportunity, there's always an offering for you to be valued. Whatever your desires may be, it is valued. And so come to Amplify, be inspired, be the inspiration, and you are always going to be an impact on someone, whether it be yourself, your peers, or your instructors.
Wow. Can we just it's like the Verizon commercial, just drop the mic. I mean, that was wonderful. That was fantastic. Well,
I want to cry.
yeah, I mean,
That was great.
Do you need some tissues? Because I'm sure I can find some. Okay. Well, Abi, thank
my
you so
God, man.
much
Thank you,
for
Bryce.
being on
Yes,
our
yes,
show.
please.
And
Thank
with
you,
that,
Tyler.
Tyler, I will let you take us out, sir.
Yeah, so once again, thank you, Abi, for being here. Thank you, Bryce, for being here as always. If you like this video, please like it, comment, let us know what you want to see on this channel, and subscribe to Amplify Radio. We want to thank you for being here today. We will see you next time. Goodbye.